Everyone, welcome to another fun episode in the Kitchen with KK. So I'm Kimberly Knox. I'm a functional and integrative health coach, bringing you the real news of how food affects the body. What we found is that 90% of disease is caused from diet and lifestyle. So we have so much control over changing what we eat and understanding the power of food today. So I combine the energetics of food and the science of food and vitamins, nutrients, how they affect the cells. I wrote a cookbook, Simple Cooking for Vitality, which shows you how the major organs and systems work in the foods that give those areas information. So that's what's new today is we're talking about cellular health. And I mean, today, not today. In the kitchen, we're talking about lima beans today. I know they sound gross, right? When I was a kid, I was like, I don't know. I don't know about lima beans, but we're going to we're gonna sexy those babies right up today. Lima beans are the younger version. Butter beans sound way more delicious, right? Very popular in Europe and the Mediterranean. Lima beans, Peruvian and Peru, and I found that they make like a Peruvian vegan ceviche with butter beans, and that would be with like lime and olive and hot peppers shaken up with the beans. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't really have that recipe. So what I'm going to do for you is you get an idea. We're just taking something simple and we're putting it together what you have in the kitchen. What do I have is what I thought. So I'm going to do a Mediterranean style butter bean. There's lots of different recipes out there. I don't care. We're creating something that's going to be delicious. And when you think of the Mediterranean, what do you think of? You think of color, you think of tomatoes, you think of maybe sun-dried tomatoes, you definitely think of basil and garlic and olive oil. By the way, National Garlic Day is April 19th, the day before. So we're in April. This is springtime. This is the season of the liver. This is perfect. The liver loves garlic, by the way, and those nutrients. So we're going to use shallots and garlic. And I got a nice steel. I love these saucepans by All Clad. If you can get them, it's American made, fantastic. We're going to just saute those up in some olive oil. I am going to use some olive oil because this is not long sauteing. And I didn't have any tomatoes, but I do have, this is an Italian brand I love, the Jovia brand. Super delicious. The flavor of these tomatoes is outrageous, sweet and just like they should be. Organic tomatoes, all our tomatoes today must be organic. They are on the Dirty Dozen list. They've been there for a long time. These have like 16 grams of sodium. So you definitely have to look at sodium grams when you're getting any canned items. This is in a jar. Another plus, right? So I had, and these are the butter beans I'm going to be using. I am a fan of the Edam brand, properly pressure cooked. They're ready to go. Dr. Gundry likes this brand. I've drained them. There's some recipes where you leave in the juice and you kind of cook it down and make a kind of a saucy kind of soup. And you can do that with this recipe. You can use some bread. I've got a little bit of asparagus here and fresh basil from Warden Farms. I rave about the farm that we use here. So in my cookbook, in the thyroid section, I created a butter bean flax spread. This is delicious. So this is a way to get those butter beans and flax seeds. The fiber in this is outrageous, fantastic. We need that for our digestive system. We need it to help the body to get cholesterols out of the body that are circulating and that need to go, right? So keep that your lipid profile much better. And so high fibers reduce the net carbs, so your sugar conversion. So, when you're thinking about ketogenic lifestyle, you want those net carbs way under 50. Fiber helps you reduce those, and that's why beans have a better carb profile here. So in just a half a cup, you've got 18 grams total carbs minus 4. That leaves you 14 divided by 5. So you're just a little over 2 grams of sugar conversion. That is an energy system within the body, which is a glucose energy system. So, but the beans are going to have a different type of energy than straight, sugar and glucose. It's going to be via a component called depenyl, similar to the way carob works as a chocolate. Very, very fun. So let's just put this together. We've got a lot of amazing things here, and then we'll put it into a dish. So it's very easy to put something together. I chose shallots because shallots are very powerful. You're going to get a super dose of antioxidants in here, and it's the allium, it's that sulfur content in the onions that give it that powerful eye-tearing, right, jerking kind of feeling that you get when you're with your onions here, but that's where the power comes from. And let me just get some of this inside out. I have plenty of garlic around, as always. I use a lot of garlic, so I buy it pre-peeled. If you're not using it that quickly, it's going to go bad, but I do, so it saves me time rather than always peeling fresh garlic. So anyway, so I took the centers out. So we're just going to mince this up, rough chop. You can use a chef's knife, or I'm using this thin blade Santoku knife here, and just keep putting in a pile, chopping through it. The more you do things, the better you get. That's why excellence is not a trait, it's a habit, So the more you do something, the more you make one recipe, the more you try new recipes, the more confident you get. But I want you to be confident and off recipe. I want you to feel confident. You don't have to be stuck to a recipe. And for all means, I want you to always look at a recipe and go, is the stuff in there okay for me? Because if they're putting in canola oil or vegetable oil, which they often do, those are things you don't want. And you can replace those with things like avocado oil. And yeah, because chefs are not trained in health. And so that's what you're getting when you go out. And at home, you can control all aspects. So in no time, our little piles have been turned into a beautiful little pile of minced shallots here. I use shallots also in my dressings. They're perfect because it gives you a nice pop of what you want, that flavor. So I've been heating this pan already, so it is ready to go. And this is going to snap crackle on top of it. So we just want to get these flavored while that is getting a little translucent. We're going to rough chop up the garlic. I have a little bit of a heavy hand with garlic, so use as much as you want. And again, I'm just going to rough chop it. And obviously, if you get it smaller, you're going to have more flavor spread throughout your recipe. If you have a little garlic press, those are other ways you can help. I'm already smelling the beautiful aroma of the garlic with those smells, or those really strong antioxidants, similar to the peel of a lemon, all of the herbs that you're using. That's where we're getting flavor from, and that's where the antioxidants, those plant compounds, come from. And just so you know, I always talk about antioxidants, but those are our cell bodyguards, right? We've got constant oxidative stress going on in the body. The body is always cleaning up and working. This is a lot of garlic in here. So I don't want it to get too brown. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. We just want it to get, probably can't even see with the basil in the way here. This already smells incredible. So how bad can they be, right? When you've got garlic and you've got fantastic shallots, and then we're going to be putting in fresh oregano. We're going to finish it with fresh oregano and fresh basil. So what I'm going to cut up now, actually, no, I'm going to add in this. I'm going to add in just half of this jar. I don't want to waste this in. And we're going to let this cook down a little bit. Okay, so this is going to simmer here. We'll let it simmer without the lid on it so that uh, it can get a little bit thicker. And since it's doing that, when that heats up, I'm going to put in the asparagus because I want the asparagus to start cooking. In fact, I am going to put the cover on for a little bit just so I can get the asparagus tender, and then we'll take it off and we will go from there. So we're going to cut up the sun-dried tomatoes. So you're just taking stock of what you have and what you can put together. And that's true creativity. And that's what I'm always trying to inspire in you is so you can use scissors or you can use a knife. I'm going to start with the scissors and then we'll just finish with the knife. Because if you slice it into strips, then you can just cut it up a little easier. That's just the way I do it. You can find ways to do things. We'll clean those up after. So yeah, the sun-dried tomatoes are going to give it that real rich, distinctive Mediterranean taste and aroma. So if you remember the recipe for my vegan tacos, oh my God, the leftovers of that were fantastic. And they last for a long time in the refrigerator. I just had some more today. Fantastic. And a lot of that flavor of the nuts came from not only the smoky paprika, but sun-dried tomatoes. So just delicious. I'm going to add these into the mix because I want those to start cooking as well. So let me turn this back up. Cover is on. Let me clean up a tiny bit so we keep everything nice and organized, and we'll be right back. We'll talk a little bit more about the nutrients in these butter beans, which are the more mature lima beans, but just gorgeous in the amount of nutrients and what you can do with them. We're all tidied up here. Thanks for tuning in today. We're just having fun. We're getting creative. We are utilizing food to heal the body. I'm a transformational chef and a chef for the people. I want you to be confident in your kitchen and just have fun and use the nutrients of food to heal the body, right? So what else? Rich vitamins, 19% of the daily vitamin C. The nutrients, the micronutrients that are rich in beans are definitely going to be your iron and your magnesium, your manganese, and potassium. These minerals are required for functions in the body to go properly. So what else? 23% of your daily DV of iron. Fantastic. It's a non-heme iron, but your body still recognizes it. Fantastic. 12 grams of protein per cup. So a good amount of protein in this as well. What kind of spices should we add? So you can add a little thyme, but I'm just going to use Italian seasoning, or you can just use oregano. We're going to be adding in more fresh oregano at the end, a little bit of crushed red pepper. That's right. That gives you that little Italian flair. Now, don't go crazy if you're not used to it. Between a quarter or a half a teaspoon will be perfect here. And a half a teaspoon of the Italian seasoning is great. Now that that has come to a boil, I just wanted the asparagus to soften. We are not overcooking this recipe because we want the asparagus to still be a little bit crunchy, definitely not overly cooked. And let's get the butter beans in there now. They are drained. I've already drained them. So we've added those in. Let's stir this around. So now we have something that looks super deliciously appetizing with the tomatoes, the avocado, the oregano, and a little bit of heat from that pepper. That's amazing. That's going to be a great side item that you could serve with pieces of, I have fresh millet bread that my friend's husband makes. They sell at the farmer's market. That's a good gluten-free toast. You can do it with crackers. So let's put this to the side. Got that. All right, so let's get the herbs ready to go. You see how easy this is. And it's just about being inspired by something maybe that you have in your refrigerator. And then of course, all you have to do is put in like a name into Google and you'll come up with some ideas, but I love you to go off tangent. So get creative because it's all about adding nutrients. When I create a salad, I think about what more nutrients can my body benefit from. We're going to put a little bit of fresh parsley on top of this as well. So now we're adding in more antioxidants, more powerful nutrients for the body. Fresh basil. This basil was just pulled out of the ground on Friday. So we know how richly delicious this is. I buy bags of it and make pesto, which you can, my dandelion green pesto, it is in the reels there somewhere. You can freeze that. It's fantastic. Oh, it's there because we made it on the noodles, the kelp noodles. My gosh, somebody I know just made that and told me how amazing she felt eating it, so filled. And you want to be wowed by the flavor. Flavor does not come from flavor packs and chemicals. Flavor comes from nutrients in the herbs. It's the antioxidants, right? All those colors. And that's what the aroma is, real. So you can roll this. I'm just going to slice it in one direction. So it's a little bit on the ribbon side. I did a generous amount of basil. Why not? It's so delicious. Okay. I used all the oregano that I had. Here's a little bit of parsley. So I keep these in jars and look how fluffy and amazing this is. You rinse them. This came also from Warden Farms. I keep it in a jar. So it's like a plant in the refrigerator, so you can never forget it because it's right there in your face. It's not in a drawer getting soggy and gross. Now you can use it. Keep your little scissors in the same little, this is what I use. Slide them all in the refrigerator. Keeps everything nice and neat. So you can find that somewhere. I know. I think I got that one at TJ Maxx. I just got the parsley and I smell it. It's so amazing. So parsley is fantastic for your urinary tract. It's a natural diuretic. That's why I add it to my smoothies. Between that and the dandelion greens, that's going to be helping to clear toxins out of the body. What comes out through the urinary tract is aluminum when it's trying to come out of the body as well. And that's really important to get out. Aluminum is associated with a lot of cognitive decline, including all forms of Alzheimer's. There's many of them out there, and mercury and aluminum, those heavy metals are behind it. Now, what I might want to do is I have some dandelion greens also stored in a jar, and I'm just going to pull a few out. This reminds me of childhood so much. So here we go. Chopping off the bottom. And then I'm going to kind of put them into a little pile here, almost like you're ribbon cutting kale, like you're chopping up kale for a kale salad. Missed a few, so we'll get these like this. So what I'm going to do with the dandelion greens is this is going to be the bed that the sauce is going to go on top of. Look how creative this is. Now you're going to get a little dandelion green. You're never even going to know because it's a bitter green. Fantastic, though. It's going to give a little base to this whole beautiful concoction that we're making here. And look how great this looks. So let's take the cover off. And honestly, this is ready to go already. You only want to cook it just until all the flavor has come out. Now we're going to add in fresh basil, fresh oregano. I'll put the parsley on at the end here. Check this out. Woo! Smells amazing. So delicious. So as a side, with all these flavors, it doesn't matter if you didn't think you liked fava beans or butter beans sounds so much better, right? So much better. Lima bean. So happy National Lima Bean Day, April the 20th. Get beans, more beans into your dietary habits here. Start slow if you're happy with beans. Your gut will adjust to the fiber. You know, once you get your gut cleaned up with clean food, if you've been eating too many processed foods, too much sugar, you've got bacteria there that needs to kind of be readjusted. And as soon as you change your food, you change your gut microbiome as well. So that's another consideration when I work with people. I dropped one on the floor. I don't want to step on it. Okay, so look how yummy this looks. I did put a little bit of sea salt on, but what we could do now is salt and can you see this in the light here? Can't really tell, but it's gorgeous. We'll take a photo of it. Anyway, that's it. That's how fun and easy this is. It's just getting creative in the kitchen and just feeling confident. You can't screw it up, guys. And it's all about putting nutrients in there. Thanks for being here with me today. You've been in the kitchen with KK, and thanks for tuning in. Please give me a thumbs up if you love what I'm doing, and I'm happy if you share this and leave me comments. I love answering comments, and maybe somewhere in the world where you are, you do use lima beans, and this is a new one for you. So thanks, guys. Have an awesome day.